Joey.
Hello.
Hi. I just want to comment. We really love the style of music that your band has, and that the music video itself is just so lovely and simple. It goes along perfectly with the music, and just maybe if you could talk about your inspiration for the song and why you chose to set it to this kind of filming, or maybe talk about what you and also talk about what you used to film the video.
Yeah, so the video was filmed on a Canon, like, T6, I think, and I'd never experienced, like, being on set before, so it was very new to me. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I was really enjoying myself there. And, what was the other question?
I can't remember now. What was the inspiration for the song, and why you chose to set it to this imagery, and the way it was, the ideas for the music video and things like that?
Right. Well, a lot of my musical work is based off of, like, loss, so I felt like having some sort of celebratory video for change and loss in my life would be a fitting way to cope with it. I was really inspired, so I went to college at Evergreen, and Evergreen's very interdisciplinary, so if I was writing an essay, I would talk about many different disciplines and connect them, and I felt like I could bring in like little objects related to mythology, like there's this myth of Orpheus who loses his love, and she descends into the underworld, and he goes to pursue her, and he sings to the god down there. I'm so bad at telling stories. So he sings to the god down there, and he makes his way past all of these barriers, and he finds this wisp of a person, of a wife that he once knew and loved, once was a living thing, or the person, sorry. And so he makes a deal with the people down there to retrieve his wife and bring her back into life, and there's a condition for him. He has to bring her up slowly and not turn around, like not look at her, in order to bring her back. And there's this moment as he's making it back to the waking world where he turns around and looks at her, and she disappears. And there's the book that's featured in the music video makes several different speculations about why he turns around, if he chose to do that to individuate himself, or to if he did it by impulse, like human impulse. So I think there were a lot of things that kind of made their way into the video, and I filmed it about a year ago over October, over Halloween weekend. So it was a very short filming. It took a lot of time editing, and I really enjoyed it. I consider myself a musician, but I love photography, and I felt like if I was going to use photographs to honor different members of the band that I was once in, I might as well work with that kind of photographic medium in the form of film, so moving pictures and just very still shots. And I learned so much. I learned so much about film, and I have a lot bubbling up inside, so I'd love to find a way to continue making music videos for these songs.
Well, I love that you had such a complex, process for kind of a deceptively simple, it's not simple, but it's a melancholic, indie sounding kind of pop song, but it has a really kind of subtle mythology behind it that I'm so glad you're here to tell us about it, because I would have never guessed that. And so it's really exciting. I love that kind of revealing kind of okay, that's what the artist was thinking, so that's really cool. Thank you for that. And then does anybody want to ask any questions for Zoe?
Example.
Yes, please. Oh, would you like to, you could, if it's okay with you.
Sure. I noticed that the subtitling that you used was really interesting. I think there was like French in there and a little, there were some lines that didn't have subtitles. Could you kind of talk about your method for that?
Yeah, I thought it would be really playful to have some French in there because the band name was Zoe, which is kind of like inspired by French spelling, and then the song is Adieux, which is a French word for goodbyes. And I don't speak French well. I studied there for 3 months, but I did not become fluent in that time. So I didn't know how to translate, and there's always this question around translating and how to accurately or artistically translate poetry and literature. So I asked for help with some of the more difficult things, like I could never want you more, like that. This sounds really simple in English, but it's like a weird tense, like I could. Yeah, it's weird. And then I just got playful with it because there's certain lines that could be translated and interpreted with the lens of the loss that I went through. So I'm trying to think of one. There's this moment where the character, which is played by me, which is about me, turns around and there's this subtitle where it's just instrumental music and it says I'm sorry, and it's that turn that Orpheus does when he loses Eurydice and kind of individuates himself. So I think if you go in and translate it all, or like the little moments, you'll find some discrepancies with direct translation, but they have like a little story of their own. Thanks for the question.
Any other questions that a filmmaker would like to ask another filmmaker?
Where did you film?
Where? Oh, at the Oregon coast. Yeah. At Rockaway Beach.
Oh, I bet I stayed there one time. That's nice there.
Super sweet.
That's great. Well, I think we do have to clear out of here because there's another show coming in. But I just, if anybody else has any more to say, no. Well, oh yeah, please do.
I'm so honored to have my film screened here, like among so many incredible artists, filmmakers. And, yeah, I feel like very, honored. So thank you.
Well, we're happy to have you, and keep working on. Everybody should obviously keep going in film because it's the way to go. So I appreciate each and every one of you for bringing your films, obviously for being here. If hopefully you'll get to know each other. We have a lounge downstairs that's got some music and snacks and stuff, and there's a couple places to hang out around town too tonight, and we've got movies the rest of the night too. So let's give a round of applause to our filmmakers. Thank you so much for coming, and we'll see you around this evening. Thanks so much.